What's going on, guys? This is another episode here, Nolan's Pod. The other day we covered the NBA standings and where everything stands right now. Today let's cover the games. Luka Doncic returned to Dallas last night. Not being able to watch the game last night, but ended up catching a little bit of the fourth quarter. When I heard that Luka had 30 plus points in the first half, I was like, wow. But I wasn't surprised. I was not surprised. I was surprised at the fact that, Jason Kidd and Dallas Mavericks, Luka has it going like that. He makes like his first 2 or 3 baskets. Why don't y'all just start double teaming instead of letting Luka get going and play however he may want to? But Luka killed those guys, man. Like, I would have double teamed Luka all night. There's no way in the world that if I'm Jason Kidd, I let Luka Doncic in his return get off like that. But Luka, man, he was very moved by that video tribute that they gave him during the starting introductions in the lineups. He was very moved. He had tears in his eyes, and it was like, you probably were thinking, oh man, how in the world is Luka going to be able to control his emotions and play in this game? And Luka, he handled it just as better than anybody. Luka handled that game last night and those emotions better than most people can handle it. Going out after you have tears in your eyes, you're crying, you getting the whole video tribute, the fans are with you, they're cheering for you, and then to go out and bust these people, you know what, and have 45 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists, 7 threes, 7 from 10 for downtown for Luka. Luka, dude, hey man, salute. And that was good for Luka to get that off his chest, and just to get that out of the way going back to Dallas. That was really good, especially for the human part of things. That was really, really great and good to get that out the way for Luka Doncic. So now you got the playoff run. He could just focus on the playoff run. He could just focus on what's ahead and try to win his first championship. Because this Lakers team is really, really good. And they have a chance. As they beat up OKC on Sunday, then Tuesday, OKC came back and they beat them. Luka got ejected in that game. And the NBA rescinded that technical that Luka got because Luka was actually talking to one of the fans in the stands in OKC. And the referee thought that Luka was talking to him and was cussing at him because Luka had got his first technical foul because he was cussing at the referee. So when he got the second one, even though Luka was talking to the fan in the stands, the referee thought it was directed at him, and he tossed Luka out the game. And that's also a big reason why the Lakers lost that game against OKC when they played them the second time, which was on Tuesday. But Luka came back on a back-to-back on Wednesday night with all his emotions that he had, and he bust his former teams, you know what, and he bust them so bad that the Dallas Mavericks fans started chanting, "Fire Nico, fire Nico." When your home fans are chanting, "Fire the GM," you know that's not good. When the home fans are chanting to fire their own GM and they're chanting that, you know that's not good. Nico Harrison's probably going to be fired after this season plays out. He's probably going to be fired because that is for sure going to go down as one of the worst trades in NBA history, to have traded a generational talent to a team like the Los Angeles Lakers, who's built on history, who's built on having historic players in their franchise, and you gave them another one, and not because they wanted him, you gave them to him because you traded him. He didn't just sign with them. You traded him for AD, who's getting older. And AD did not have a good game last night, not to AD standards at least, so Nico Harrison, your job is in serious jeopardy. And if Mark Cuban was still there as the owner of the Dallas Mavericks, he has said on record himself that this trade would have never went down and Luka would have never left and went anywhere if Mark Cuban was still under ownership of this team. And even Mark Cuban was there last night. And when the fans was chanting fire Nico, Mark Cuban was shaking his head in disgust. That's how bad it is. Like, he was against the fans chanting fire Nico. Mark Cuban was in disgust, shaking his head. He was not happy about that. But at the end of the day, Mark Cuban also understands that trade should not have been made. And if Mark Cuban was still there as the owner of the Dallas Mavericks on his watch, Luka would still be there right to the day. But he's not, and that's the reality. And I just feel bad for the Dallas Mavericks fans because they traded away a generational talent. And to have him come back like he did last night and bust the Dallas Mavericks down like he did last night with 45, 8, and 6 on 7 threes. You cannot make that up. You cannot make this up. You really can't. And the Lakers as a team, they were behind Luka the whole night. Like I'm saying, like Rui Hachimura, he pitched in with 15 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 for 10 from the field, 3 for 7 for downtown. Jackson Hayes had 3 points, 5 rebounds. Austin Reeves, 11 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 for 10 from the field, 1 for 5 for 3. Not Austin Reeves' best night, but it didn't have to be because Luka had it and LeBron had Luka's back also. LeBron had 27 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 11 for 20 from the field for LeBron. And Luka, 45 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 16 for 28 from the field, and 7 for 10 for downtown for Luka. His teammates had his back. Luka Doncic's teammates made sure that they were not going to lose this game in favor of Luka Doncic going back to Dallas. They had him. The whole team surrounded him. The coaching staff surrounded him. Luka, we got you. We are not losing this game. They didn't lose this game. For the Maverick side of things, Klay Thompson, 6 points on 2 threes. Derek Lively, 6 points, 3 for 3 from the field. Daniel Gafford, 10 points, 6 rebounds, 4 for 6 from the field for Daniel Gafford. Former Laker Max Christie, 11 points, 3 assists, and 3 rebounds, 5 for 8 from the field, 1 for 4 from downtown. Max Christie, since the traders went down, Max Christie has been really good for the Dallas Mavericks. He's been really good for the Dallas Mavericks. Caleb Martin, 9 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. P.J. Washington, 14 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 for 12 from the field, and 3 for 7 from downtown for P.J. Washington. Najee Marshall, 23 points, 4 rebounds, 8 assists, 9 for 14 from the field, and 2 for 5 from downtown for Najee Marshall. A.D. Anthony Davis, 13 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, 5 for 13 from the field. Obviously, A.D. got hurt after just playing 1 game since the trade. He got hurt and had only played 1 game, so he just recently came back. So we can't judge AD because he's just coming back from injury, but we know that AD through his career has been injury prone. We know Kyrie Irving is out for the rest of the season and part of next year with a torn ACL. So we're not going to really be able to see what this Dallas Mavericks team is capable until we have a fully healthy AD and until Kyrie Irving comes back fully healthy. We're not going to really truly know. So as of today, the Lakers are winning this trade because they already clinched the playoff spot. The Dallas Mavericks are already in the play-in tournament, but they're probably not going to get far or make the play. If they do make the playoffs in this play-in tournament, they're probably going to be out on the first round, more than likely. So the Lakers are winning this trade by far. Luka bust their living you-know-what, and I'm just happy for Luka because he needed to get that out the way. He needed to get that off his chest and go back and dominate the way he did last night, and he did it. Although the Mavericks shot 50%, they only scored 97 points. The Lakers hit 12 threes to the Dallas Mavericks 9 threes. The Lakers out-rebounded Dallas 39-38. Dallas out-assisted the Lakers 30-22. The Lakers had 14 steals to the Dallas Mavericks 6 steals. Dallas Mavericks had 6 blocks. The Lakers didn't have any blocks. The Dallas Mavericks, one way to lose is turnovers. One way to always lose is turnovers. The Dallas Mavericks had 20 turnovers to the Lakers 12. Fast break points. The Lakers had 15 fast break points to the Dallas Mavericks 13. Points in the paint. The Lakers had 58 points in the paint to the Dallas Mavericks 48 points in the paint. And not making your free throws is one way to lose. Dallas Mavericks 16 and 23 from the free throw line, that's 69%. The Los Angeles Lakers 16 and 21 from the free throw line, that's 76%. The score ended up being 112 to 97. So during this whole stretch, the Lakers defense has been really, really good throughout this whole stretch since they traded for Luka. The Lakers defense has been really, really good. It needs to stay that way during the playoffs. The Lakers have locked up a 3rd seed, so they're good to go. 4 through 8, or really 4 through 9 in the Western Conference, it's not decided yet. But man, oh man, 4 through 9 in the Western Conference has not been decided yet. All those teams are bunched up. As I mentioned to you guys the other day, it's bunched up. The Rockets clinched the 2nd seed. The Lakers clinched the 3rd seed. We know OKC has the 1 seed. They also have home court advantage through the playoffs. If they keep advancing, OKC has home court advantage. The number 4 through 9 seed in the Western Conference is not decided because it's so stacked up. And it's going to come down to the last day of the season to know who's in the playoffs, who's in the top 6, and to know who's going to have to play to get in. That's going to be decided on Sunday, most definitely. With the Luka Doncic stuff out the way, we transition and we go to the shocker that was brought to us on Tuesday. The Denver Nuggets fired head coach Mike Malone after 10 seasons of coaching the Denver Nuggets to a 471 winning record and loss of 327. Mike Malone was 471 and 327 in 10 seasons coaching the Denver Nuggets. This season, Mike Malone was 47 and 32 coaching his ball club. Mind you, that they were in play. They are in play for a possible playoff spot. They're in play for a possible home court advantage in the first round. They are 2 wins away from 50, mind you. Mike Malone's career coaching record is 510 and 394. That's a 56% winning percentage career record for Mike Malone. Before Mike Malone got fired, they were on a 4-game losing streak. Mind you, Jamal Murray did not play in any of those games because he has a hamstring injury. And we know that the Denver Nuggets are not good when they only just have Joker. When they have Jamal Murray and he's playing the way we know that Jamal Murray is capable of playing and how he's played the last 2 postseasons against the Lakers, we know the Denver Nuggets cannot be beat when Jamal Murray's playing well, and then you got Joker being the MVP. Jamal Murray has not played the last 4 games because he has a hamstring injury that he's dealing with. Nikola Jokic won 2 MVPs under Mike Malone, and he's possibly could win a 3rd one if they don't give it to SGA. Excuse me. Joker could win a 3rd one this year, possibly if they don't give it to SGA, but it seems like it's going to be SGA. So you win 2 MVPs up under this coach and almost possibly win a 3rd MVP up under this same coach. He's gone. He's fired. Mind you, before he got fired and before they played last night, what is it? They only have, 3 games to go this regular season? And you now want to fire Mike Malone? And the owner, you know what the owner says? He goes on record and he says, I didn't want to go get to the playoffs and then we have a winning streak and then we turn it on in the playoffs, and that makes it just that more harder to fire Mike Malone if we turn it on in the playoffs and we start winning in the playoffs. My question is, that's bull crap. That's bull crap. Why are you firing Mike Malone anyway? Why? You're 4th in the West. You have a possible spot. You have a possible spot to get in the playoff and avoid the play-in. And not only that, you could get home court advantage possibly in the first round, and you're 2 wins away from 50. Mike Malone just won a championship with y'all as the head coach in 2023. Now, Mike Malone and Calvin Booth, the general manager, he was also relieved of his duties also. Mike Malone and Calvin Booth did not get along. They didn't see eye to eye. One reason for that was roster construction. After they won the championship, Calvin Booth decided to go with the younger players more than choosing the veteran players. Like the Bruce Browns, the Jeff Greens. After the Denver Nuggets won the championship in 2023, the Bruce Browns, the Jeff Greens, they signed with other teams. So you got stuck with Christian Brown, the Peyton Watsons of the world, to fill that void. And then you had KCP, who they did not re-sign this past offseason. So you had the younger guys that Calvin Booth prioritized over the veteran guys who Mike Malone liked. So they didn't see eye to eye over roster construction, that's always typical between a general manager and the head coach not always seeing eye to eye. But them getting fired, I can see why Calvin Booth got fired. Mike Malone, that's not sitting well with me. Somebody please, for the love of God, tell me how the hell you firing a coach 3 or 4 games left in the regular season. This late in April in the regular season. You don't see that. It's rare that you see that unless you have a team that's bad and that's not going to make it to the playoffs. And then you say, oh, we got to fire this coach. But even when his team is really, really bad, you still don't see them firing a coach 3 or 4 games left in April right before the playoffs start. You mean to tell me you fired Mike Malone 3 to 4 games in the regular season? Y'all almost to 50 wins. Y'all possibly could get in the playoffs and avoid the play-in and possibly have home court advantage in the first round. Mike Malone just won you guys a championship in 2023, and you didn't have enough respect to just let the season play out, and then you go on record and say, oh, I didn't want us to get it going in the playoffs. If we start winning in the playoffs, that makes it just that more harder to fire Mike Malone. Mike Malone coached y'all for 10 seasons, so y'all were loyal to Mike Malone because he coached y'all for a very long time. Y'all were loyal to him. Make no question, that's no question about it. None of that. Y'all were loyal to him. But y'all still disrespected him by firing him this late in the season. Now, mind you, the Denver Nuggets, before the All-Star break, they were really good. They have took a noticeable dip in the second half of the season. And I get that. But Mike Malone deserved to finish out the season. Mike Malone is a hell of a coach. He's coached y'all through a whole rebuild and has got y'all where y'all are today. And coached y'all all the way to a championship. Now, it's, of course, the reports are going to come out that Mike Malone treated the star players way more differently than what he treated the regular players, the role players. He treated Joker differently. He treated Jamal Murray differently. And I just seen today that it said that he even treated Russell Westbrook differently, which what the players didn't like because Russell Westbrook is not what he used to be, but Russell Westbrook is still also a future Hall of Famer. And the other players and people, they didn't like how Mike Malone treated the star players. And while Russell Westbrook is not considered a star player anymore like he once was, Mike Malone treated him as such, and that rubbed the other players on the team the wrong way, which that's understandable. But a lot of coaches treat the star players differently than what they treat the role players. That's always kind of been a thing, especially this generation of coaches. That's always been a thing. The Russell Westbrook thing, like I said, he's not a star anymore like he once was. So I can kind of see why that rubbed the players the wrong way. But when you have a 2-time MVP in Joker and Jamal Murray, who we know can turn it on, especially when it comes to playoff time, you see why Mike Malone treated them differently. The Denver Nuggets statistics, I'm going to give you some statistics on the Denver Nuggets. They are third in points per game scored with 120.7. They are third in rebounds per game with 45.7. They are first in assists per game with 31 assists per game. The Denver Nuggets are first in field goal efficiency, 50.6%. They are fourth in three-point percentage on 37.8%. Where they fall off at, where the Denver Nuggets have fell off at, is defense. Opponents' points per game, the Denver Nuggets rate 25th in opponents' points per game, allowing 117.1. That's a reason why you could say that Mike Malone got fired, because their defense wasn't the same. They KCP didn't re-sign with them. Aaron Gordon has been in and out the lineup. Joker is not going to defend anybody. So when you lose KCP, Aaron Gordon's been hurt consistently. Jamal Murray and Joker are not defending the park car. Neither is Christian Brown. That goes to roster construction. They don't have anybody that could defend. You don't blame that on Mike Malone. You blame that more on Calvin Booth for the roster construction and for the guys that he's chosen to go with over some of the veterans that they've had in the past. Mike Malone should not have been fired this late in the season, especially when you have a team that's in the playoff hunt. He deserved to finish out the season. That was a complete shocker to a lot of people, including myself included. We all thought it was a shocker when Memphis just fired Taylor Jenkins. But to fire Mike Malone, I don't see that. Mike Malone's not going to be out of a job long. During this next coaching cycle, Mike Malone is going to have a job. He's going to have interviews at least, but he's most definitely going to have a job next season. Taylor Jenkins also. That's all I have for you guys today. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. The NBA season ends on Sunday. The Western Conference will be decided on Sunday, the last day of the season, because it's stacked. That's all I have for you guys. Let me know what you think about Mike Malone getting fired. Let me know what you think about Luka Doncic's return to Dallas. And we out of here.